Hello everyone, it's me, Infinity Break. Just letting you all know that if you like the Elder Scrolls and want to see where it all began, check out my other video, A Study of the Elder Scrolls, Part 1 Arena. Anyway, on to the theory. So with Elder Scrolls 6 being announced last summer, there's been a lot of speculation surrounding where it's set, and what people can gather from the little teaser that Todd Howard dangled in our face like a set of keys being dangled in front of a toddler. From the title, you can probably guess by now that I'm here to tell you my little theory I've had cooking since I've seen the trailer. And no, it's not centered around the positioning of the sun or anything. Interestingly enough, it's centered around the theme that plays. As soon as I heard this theme, I immediately thought I heard it somewhere before. And no, I'm not exaggerating. I was like, this sounds familiar, and I don't know where. And I couldn't think of it at first. I really couldn't. I was stumped. But then one day at work, it hit me. Daggerfall. At first I listened and I was like, no, this isn't it. And then this part happened. Then, I immediately listened to the Elder Scrolls 6 theme again. And then Daggerfall. Again. Now I know. They don't sound exactly the same. But they're similar. Extremely similar, in fact. And it drove me nuts. Because I've listened to it so many times. Matching up the instruments, the drums, the horns, the singing in the background. It just sounds way too similar for this to just be a coincidence, don't you think?
And then you run wires that connect them all. And again, it just works.
There's something more to it. At least it feels like there is. It would make sense, at least by my logic. Again, that's not much coming from me. But let me explain. First off, I've already explained the instruments. The drums, the horns, the faint singing. Just listen again, real quickly for all those. See? Can you hear it? I know I'm pulling at straws here, but I can't be any more crazy than the people who are like, the sun sets in the east or the west. Trailer can't be set here. And I'm like, listen, I can't sound any more crazy than that. No offense to people who make those videos, but come on. And to be fair, maybe you didn't hear anything, and that's fine. Maybe I'm wrong. But the thing about my theory is that it already kinda matches up with what everybody else has been saying for the last couple months. Before I continue, here is what the map of Daggerfall looked like. The reason I bring up the map is because when most people have a theory about where the Elder Scrolls 6 is set, they either say it's set in High Rock, Land of the Bretons, or it's going to be set in Hammerfell, Land of the Redguards. But you see, the Elder Scrolls Daggerfall was set in the Iliac Bay, which had both parts of High Rock and Hammerfell in it. For reference, the top part is High Rock and the bottom part is Hammerfell. What I'm trying to say is, people are right to be thinking High Rock and Hammerfell, it's just that I'm saying that it's both. That's right. I'm saying that I think that the Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be set in the Iliac Bay, the same setting as Daggerfall. And I think it's interesting that what I'm thinking of, my theory, is already matching up with what people are saying. Another bit of evidence that is matching up is the name that Bethesda has trademarked as of late, Redfall. See, most people are thinking that this name, that is slated for a console and PC title, is for the Elder Scrolls 6, and I definitely agree with them. And why do I agree with them? Because when someone says the name Redfall, I immediately think of two things that could make sense with that. One, Red Guards, which are the native race of Hammerfell, which is a part of the Iliac Bay, and Daggerfall, which is one of the main provinces in Daggerfall, the game, that is owned by the Bretons, which, yes, is part of the Iliac Bay. Now, I know, I'm stretching for what I believe here, but come on, it makes sense, and you gotta admit, Redfall would be a pretty cool name, and would make sense with the context of the area, but that's all the evidence I have. I know I don't have much, really, but I believe I have somewhat of a solid theory with all of this here. And you have to admit, with the themes matching in tones and instruments, the Redfall name making sense, and the fact that almost every other location theory about Elder Scrolls 6 is matching up with what I'm saying, I mean, all of that has to hold some weight, am I right? And, like I said earlier a couple times, I could be wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm fine if I'm wrong. I just thought I noticed something, and I hadn't seen anybody else talk about it, and it all matches up in my head at least. So I thought, okay, no one else on the internet seems to have touched this yet, so... And I mean, I've had the theory in my head for like the last couple months since I saw the trailer, so I'm like, no one's did anything on it. Okay, fine, I'm doing a video on it. And I mean, come on. The being in the Iliac Bay again would be amazing. That means that the scale is going to be maybe not as big as Daggerfall. Because, I mean, Daggerfall is, like, procedurally generated. Maybe they will do it, I don't know. But I know for the time, and even to this day, it's one of the top 5 biggest games of all time, if I'm not mistaken. So, that would be pretty cool. And then you think on top of it, like, the whole area is, like, medieval themed. It's got, like, all these crazy different, like, environments in it. I mean, you think it's got parts of Hammerfell, which are desert. Or, not desert, then it's more like not a wasteland, but like a... wild lands, kind of like fields and stuff, mountains, rock, some desert, some sand. But, you know, it's like that, and then you go over to the Daggerfall area, which is forest, snow, and then you've got, like, you know, medieval kind of themes going on with the castles and the horses and the carriages, and like Skyrim, but a little bit more English and European kind of theme and feel going on, which would be pretty cool. Yeah, a little mishmash of themes, and if they include Orsinium, if they manage to rebuild it, if they do a time skip and it's rebuilt, you got 3 provinces that we've basically just jammed into one game, which would be pretty cool if they manage to pull that off correctly. Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna ramble on. I'm gonna let you guys basically digest what I just spew at you for the last, like, 8 minutes or so. I'm excited for Elder Scrolls 6. I hope that what I noticed makes sense, because when someone's making soundtrack, or they're making, like, stuff for trailers, or in a movie of any sort, like, any specific scene, if you notice little tidbits here and there, you can kind of predict where the narrative is going. And I really think I'm onto something here. I really feel like, with all the theories especially, that the game is going to be set in the Iliac Bay, and that we're going back to Daggerfall, we're going back to the area, we're going kind of back to that theme that the game had, this whole, as we should say, medieval kind of theme, where it's like original Elder Scrolls. And I'm looking forward to that. I think it'd be done very well. It could be. Okay, I've taken the ending bit like 20 times now, so I'm just gonna be quick. You don't have to. Thank you for watching the video up to this point if you have, but like and subscribe maybe, give me a chance in the future, see where I go, see what I can do, maybe I entertain you guys a little bit, that's the whole goal. And thank you for watching again to the very end of the video. You're awesome. I appreciate you very much. This has been Infinity Break, reminding you all, say it with me now, eat well, play well, and live well, friends. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, night, wherever you are.